Okay. Thank you for letting me come in to work with you guys this week. I'm so excited about that. You are welcome. And I know that you guys have been working on, and this whole couple of weeks here have been working on patterns. And you know what else that's called sometimes? Have you ever heard the word algebra?
Yeah.
What can you tell me about algebra?
Like my brother, he's in 7th grade, and he just said the word, but I don't know.
You think he may be doing some algebra at school?
Yes.
Is that what he's
It was
okay?
about math, but I didn't know.
Okay, it is. What do you think, Jackson?
I think it's something that it's a word, but you gotta say something in it. I think it's a name at the same time.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts? Yes, sir.
I think it is kind of like multiplication, repeated addition.
Ooh, he's
Different numbers,
Ki-
going like 5, 4, 5, 4.
very good. So he said 5, 4, 5, 4. That's like a what?
Pattern.
It's a pattern. Okay. And say, what else did you say?
It is kind of like repeated addition.
Repeated addition. Okay, that's the type of pattern, right? That's all algebra, guys. So when my daughter is in 9th grade at the high school, and she's taking a class that's called algebra. So it's all about algebra. But in 3rd grade, you guys work on lots of different things, but you really work on algebra throughout the year. Did you realize that? No. You do, okay? So we're going to look at something today called an input-output table. Have you ever seen or heard about an input-output table? Emma?
I have, and I know how to do it.
You know how to do it. Awesome. Okay. Yes, sir, Rylan.
In 2nd grade, on Dreambox, there was one, and I was pretty good.
You were pretty good at it. Okay. Did you? Okay. So what I've done today is I've kind of created an anchor chart, but I need you guys to help me fill in some blanks on this anchor chart, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So what we're going to do, do you know what this black thing's called here?
A
A cauldron. We're getting close to Halloween, right? So that's a cauldron. And
That's what witch.
okay, witches make their potions. So how do you make a potion? Are they real?
No.
Okay, let's pretend it is even like soup or something like that. But what do?
Add ingredients.
You add ingredients to the cauldron or the pot, okay? And then, once you cook it all up, what happens?
It makes a potion, it makes a soup or a potion.
It makes a potion or makes a soup. So you have to put ingredients in, and then what you get out of it is the final result, right? Okay, so we're going to look at putting something into our cauldron and stirring it up. But when we stir it up, we've got to do something to it. We've got to apply a rule, okay? So we're going to put some rules with our cauldron, okay? So we're going to put something in, we're going to do something to it, and then see what comes out, okay? So let's look first at our rule. What is our rule?
Add 5.
Add 5. So if I put up this number,
It's kind of like 5 and 1, right?
okay, if I put up that number, okay, so we're going to put 6 in our cauldron. Finn, what are we going to do to it? We're going to add 5 to it. So what's going to come out? Think first. Think. All right. Turn to a neighbor.
11.
Oh, okay. All right. So 11 comes out. What do you think about that?
I knew it right away.
11 comes out. Is that?
It's like plus.
Okay, we're adding. All right. So let's do another one. You ready? All right. A little harder.
Oh, 20.
Okay, hang on. Think. Shh. Think. Think about your rule. 25 goes in. Cameron, what comes out?
30.
30. How did you know that?
Because 5 plus 5 equals 10, and I know what 10 minus 5 is, so I took away 10 and then added more, and then I come up with 30.
Okay, very good. All right, we're ready for another one. Are you ready? All right, let's see.
That was not too hard.
Not too hard, okay.
100. I know this one. This is easy. I know.
All right, put in 100. Molly, what do I get out? 105. How did you know that?
Because if you take away the 1, it's 0, and 0 plus 5 is 5. And then you add the 1 and you
Tell me one more time, Molly. Can you explain that to me one more time?
If you take away the 1 and you're just at 0 and you add 5, you'll get 5, and then add the 1 back, you'll get 100.
Okay, so if you looked at what's in the ones and the tens place, it's 0. And if you add this 5, you get what?
1 have
5, yes. And then if you put your 100 back on,
We'll have 105.
yes, okay.
That's not too I'm ready for another one.
All right,
Yeah.
here we go.
Oh, I love these. 23?
Okay, think about it.
Okay, I know.
All right, Micah.
28.
Okay, how do you know that, Micah?
Because if you do 5 plus 3, it goes 6, 7, 8. And then
Okay.
and it has a 20 on the other side, so it's 28.
Okay, so he said if you do the 3 is in what place?
1.
Ones, and you add 5. He said, tell me again how you said that part.
7, 8.
He said 6, 7, 8. What strategy is he using? Do you know that? Think about it. What strategy would that be? Counting up. So he started at the 3 or the 5? At the 5. Why did you start at the 5, Micah, when you counted up?
Because it's the biggest number.
It's larger than 3. It's greater than 3. And he just counted up 3 more to get 8. And then he put his 2 tens on there. All right, very good. All right, now we're going to change the rule. You have something else to add, Jackson? No? Okay. All right, we're changing the rule. This time,
Add 11.
nope.
Mine is 9.
Okay.
Mr. Parent taught us this. We already know.
Awesome. Okay, here we go then. You ready? All right. So if our new rule is subtracting 10. Okay, think about
So
it.
that means.
All right. Okay, hands down. Hands down. All right. What do you think,
Shelby.
Shelby? How did you know it's going to be 80?
Because if you take away the 0 and 10, minus 9, and you'll get 80.
Okay, so the 9 minus the 1, but that's really how much? 90 minus another 10 will give us 80. All right.
That's not too hard.
You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Are you sure?
Please.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Oh, what? That's not the right answer.
Oh, because
That'll be our next one. Okay, everybody think? All right. Julianne. And sweetheart, how did you know that was 140?
I thought about it. I took away the 100, and I already know how to count by 10. And if I take away 40 from 50, it would be 40. And then I added the 100 back in 140.
Okay. All right. Very good. You ready?
Yep. Here's a hard one.
75. 75. 75. All right. Jackson.
65.
All right. How did you know that, Jackson?
Because I took away a 10 from the 7, and I kept 5 right where it was.
Why did you keep the 5 right where it was?
Because you couldn't take away 5 if it wasn't 10.
Okay. Because are there any ones in the 10?
No.
No. Okay. Very good. All right. One more on this one.
Here's a hard one.
Okay. Think. 20. Okay. Hang on. 23. Everybody think about it. All right. I want you to whisper to your neighbor what you think it is. And also tell them how you, or why you think that that's the answer. How you know that. Did you tell somebody? What do you think it is?
I took away 3 and just get 3 there.
What do you think?
I got the answer.
How do you know that?
I know. We got it. If I take away 1, I know. If I take away 1 10, that makes 110. Took away 0. I know.
1 take away 3, 2, then it's 1. So I knew if there was a 10.
Okay, is it 1 take away 2 or 2 minus 20 minus the 10? Okay, to get another 10. Very good. Okay, here we go. Are you ready? All right, Maddie Beth, what do you think it is?
13.
And 13. Now, what did you tell your neighbor the reason you thought it was
I
13?
told my neighbor that I left the 3 and I took away the 2 because if it was 23, then just 2 take away 1 would just be 1, but I took away, but instead of using that, I remembered that fact, but I took 10 away. So I left the 3 and I took 10 away and then it became 13.
Okay. Anybody have anything different or you thought about it differently? You thought about it differently? What did you think about? Mm-hmm. Okay, so the strategy he used was you take 1 from both, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, what'd you use, Mari?
I took away the 2, took away 1 from the 2.
Are you taking away 1, or what are you taking away? 10, very good. So you took the 10 from the 2?
No, 32. 22.
Okay. You took 10 from 23. Okay. And that's it. That's the strategy. Very good. Okay. Now we're going to do something a little different. Okay. This time, I'm going to give you what we put in the cauldron and what we get out of the cauldron. And you have to tell me what the rule is. What you think the rule is. Okay. All right. Okay, hands down. Hands down. All right. We put in 10. 7 comes out. What did we do to it, Finn?
Take away 3.
What's the math word for take away? There you go. We subtracted 3. Okay. All right, let's try. Let's see if our next. So I'm going to put this one here. We put in 10. We got out 7. We think the rule is
3.
minus 3. Okay, or subtract 3. All right. So what if we put in 29? We get out 26. Can the rule still be subtract 3?
No.
Yes.
Hey, wait. Tate, give him a second. What do you think, Tate? If we put in 29, if we subtract 3, do we get 26? What do you think about that? You want to ask a friend? Okay, ask a friend. Finn, you want to help him out?
Yeah. It can still be 3 because if you subtract 6 from 9, it equals 3, so.
All right, so Finn used the one, very good strategy. He used the ones places and he subtracted 6 from 9 to get 3. So we think it still works?
Yeah.
All right, let me write that one in. 29 and 26, we still think it's subtract 3.
Yep, it is.
All right, let's try this one.
Well, you use it. This is kind of hard.
So 197.
I can't even use my fingers.
You can't use your fingers, oh no.
I know.
Think of another strategy if you can't use your fingers.
I know.
All right, Emma, guys, sit down so everybody can see. What do you think?
I think it's minus 3. I think that's the rule.
Okay.
Because I know I have this memorized already that 10 minus 7
Okay. So she used a fact. She knew that 10 minus 7 is 3. Okay. And then she took her 10 tens and subtracted 9 tens to get, okay, to get, well, yes, to get 3. Okay. All right, one more. Are you ready?
Yes. I got one.
Hang on. All right. What do you think about this one? What do you think? Do you think the rule is still 3? You want to talk to a partner? Talk to a partner. Okay. I know. Yeah. That's okay. All right, what's he think? All right, he agrees. Subtract 3, right? So 120 minus 3 is 117. So what's our rule?
Subtracting 3.
Subtracting 3. Okay, this is what we're going to do next. Okay?
I was thinking 20 less.
Okay.
But what I was thinking 97. Is that correct?
On this one,
But 97 plus 20 equals 117.
what do you think about that? Is that correct? 97
minus 10.
You said 97 plus 120 equals 117. Think about it.
So it's 7. And
That's right.
takes to 100. So it's a 7.
What part?
So if 1 goes in, it's 100, and then the 20 equals to a 10 on that, and the 7 goes with it.
Okay, so if we have $97, and I give, if you have $97, Micah, and I give Micah $120 more, that's a lot of money, isn't it? Would you end up with $117, Micah?
No, I was thinking of 20.
Oh.
20.
So you said 97 plus 20 equals 117. Okay? So you add your tens. You're exactly right, Micah, and you get 11 tens, right? Add your 1, 7 plus 0, 0. I am so sorry. I thought you said 120. All right. Okay, very good. All right, so what you guys are going to do with your math partners now, you're going to go back in just a second after I give you your task, and you're going to work together to complete some of your own input-output tables. Okay? Now, what's the little tricky and maybe challenging? What do you notice about this one in particular?
You have to fill in the 2 blanks.
Okay. So, do we know the rule on this one? No, you have to figure out the rule, and you also have to figure out some in and out numbers, don't you? Okay? Now, there are several in your task. It's okay if you don't get everything done or everything completed. It is okay. The very last page in your packet, though, is completely blank. What are you going to do with this one, do you think?
Make your own problems.
You can make your own problem in your rule. Okay? And then once we all get to a stopping point, we're going to come back up, and some of you are going to share with us, okay? All right. So this is what I want to do. Tate and Finn, go work. Micah and Josie. Maddie Beth and Emma.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Riley.
Riley and Rylan.
It's going to be awesome.
Caitlin and Cade. Julianne and Mari.
I think we're going to be that last one because we're
Cameron and Shelby.
not a big old.
Willington, Joshua, and David.
There's 3 in their group too.
Okay, hang on one second. All right, hang on. Emilio, Jackson, Sophie, and Emmeline. All right, y'all go with Miss Baxter right here. And who are we missing? Girlies. All right, let me grab them. Hey, Julianne, bring your paper to me right quick, sweetie.
Oh, that's Mari.
Yeah, where's Mari? Here, let me see. That's yours, Julianne. And then does Molly... See if... Who's your partner right now?
Where are we?
Okay. Let me see it back so I can put hers together. All right, Molly. I'm sorry, sweetheart. There you go, sweetheart. You put your name on it for me, okay? All right, guys. All right, Tate, tell me what you think's happening.
So I think we're adding 50.
Uh-huh. Tell me how you know that.
Because it starts with 50.
Where? Where does
Right
it?
here it starts with 210 and then we end with 260, so 10 plus 50.
All right, what about this one? What's happening right there? What goes in the pot on this one?
25.
25, and what comes out?
75.
Okay, so how do you know what was done to 25 to get to 75? What do you think the rule is? Very good. Let me ask you something. Think about money. Think about quarters. If you have 25, how many 25 cents, how many quarters is that? One. Okay. If you have 25 cents, Finn has 75 cents. How many quarters does he have?
We could do a 100 down here.
What do you think?
Plus 10.
How much would 2 quarters be?
This is 100.
If I give you 2 quarters, how much money do I give you? 50. 50. So if Finn has another quarter to make if he has 3 quarters, how much money would you have, Finn? 3 quarters was how much? 75 cents. But the difference is he has 50 cents more than you have. Okay? So does that work for here? How could you do that if you didn't use quarters? Could you add 25 plus 50 and see if it makes 75? Okay. So what would you do to 150 here to see if this works? What could you do? Add 50 to see if it's 200. So you might want to check your work and make sure that makes sense, okay? All right. Y'all keep working, okay?
Okay, now let's go on to our next one. This one we didn't have to go anywhere.
6 if the rule is 9 and you have 6, then you go up 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
So the rule looks like 16.
Which one are y'all thinking about right now?
I'm just thinking where it equals 563.
Okay, so you think the rule is to add 9, right? So if what comes out is 563, how do you figure out what went in?
Because I know because 6 and go up 9, you'll have to start over and the start of 3, 6, 9 would be 3. So I gone back to 3.
How could you check yourself to see if you got it right? How did y'all get 556? Uh-oh.
Oh wait, yeah, that's
So it looks like it's
How did you get that answer? What strategy did you use?
counting up.
Counting up. Where did you start?
okay.
I
3 can't take away 4. So
I started at 563 and I counted down 9.
You counted down 9. All right, let's do that together. Ready?
yep, it sounds right to me.
60.
And then 72,
61,
and then 17,
59,
take away 4.
58, 57, 56,
7 take away 3 is 4. 7
What comes up?
55.
55. Then 50.
Marge, you were
4.
right. 7 take away
All right, Briley's got it. So 554.
4.
Very good. Hey, what you working on? Did y'all get it finished up? Okay. Who's your partner?
Shelby.
Okay. All right. Would you be ready to, on this one, explain how you knew that the rule is adding 8? Would you be willing to share that when we get back together? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for working on that.
I know from the first part because 8 plus 8 is 16.
Okay.
Me and Cameron are done.
Okay, yes. And I asked Cameron if y'all would be willing to come up and share how you figured out that rule on that one, okay?
Yeah, we can.
All right. Can you work on what you're supposed to do next?
11 plus 10 equals to 21. And then 21 take away 3 equals 28. So do you think it's 28?
I think so. If the rule is adding 11, then if we take 7 plus 11, then it should equal 23. I mean 28. Did you say 28 or 23?
I said 28.
Okay, so it should be 28.
How can you check to make sure?
We usually do it on the bottom. We start at the top, and we don't get it, and we get it, so we think it's still plus 11. So then we add at the bottom. So
Okay.
19 plus 11.
Okay. How can you?
9 equals 10, and 1 plus 1 equals. 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So we're gonna have to add. We're gonna have to add up what? Oh, looks like we have to add like this. Am I? Do you think we should add it like this? What number do you think? What number do you think we would get if we did add 11?
21.
How could you check to see if that's correct?
Because
What could you do to check it? To see.
Add it together?
Okay. You've got the back of your paper to do some work if you need to, okay? All right, show me how you might do that.
So we might put the numbers to get on top of each other.
Okay, will you show me? Will you show me?
Okay, so we'd put 11 right here. So this equals 10. Well, we just put the 0 right here and add it to this.
What does that mean when you put that one up there on top of that other one? What does that mean?
That means you cross this one out. Wait, no, you don't.
Uh-huh, correct. You don't.
You don't cross that one out. You got 2, so now you got 3. So it's 30.
Very good.
Looks like we found our answer. 30.
Good.
So
Whatever.
It's adding 11.
All right, very good.
Now we just have to write the numbers.
All right, what do you come up together with what you want your rule to be.
How about she guesses her favorite number, and I guess my favorite number, and combine it and see what it equals.
Whatever you decide. All right, guys, how are we doing over here? You're making your own now? So what rule are you using first?
We're gonna add 10.
Add 10. Okay. All right.
19 would be 29, so it's 19 at 11.
11! 11 is 39. Just add up.
39 minus.
That we're adding.
So what? Minus 70.
We figured out the first one is
Did you? Okay, very good.
You had to cross out the
Uh-huh. Okay. All righty.
And now we could do
No.
That's too close to 7.
We can do 14.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good one. Here, 14 plus 10 is 24.
What do you think is the most efficient strategy for somebody to use an adding 10 for? What do you think people would do the most, or would be most efficient?
I would probably take away the 1 and just count up 1, 2, and then add the 1 back.
Okay, so count up a 10 and then put whatever's in your ones place.
My
Okay, very
strategy
good.
is just taking the 0 away and adding 2.
Adding what?
2. But this is not adding 2, we're adding 10.
Right. So how would you do that? What's the most efficient way, do you think, to do that?
Take the 0 away and then add.
I got to 850.
Add what?
And take the 0 away and add 1 again.
Add 1?
Yes, but it would, because 1 plus 1, we're doing 10, so.
Uh-huh. So what would you add that 1 or that 10 to?
Whatever number you have over here.
All right. And then does your ones change?
No.
No.
Yes.
Does it? No.
Turn all the ones.
Very good. Very good. All right, guys. I'm going to turn this way so y'all can work together.
We're on the last one. We're trying to make something and make each other.
Oh, you're going to kind of test each other to guess it? Oh, that's a smart idea. I can't wait to see how you do it. So let me talk to you then. What's your rule? What do you think? Don't let her know. What is it? What are you doing every time?
5, 10,
Oh my gosh, that is fantastic. So you're already using some multiplication facts. That is awesome. Good job, buddy. Uh-oh, looks like she's got something kind of complicated. Let's see what hers is. All right, so what's your yeah. That's good. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to give you a few more minutes. Remember, it's okay if we're not finished. I'll give you a few more minutes to finish working on the one you're on, okay? Thank you. All right, how are we doing, guys?
We're on the last page.
Okay. So you're going to make your own now? Awesome.
The one before this was hard.
Let me see it. Flip back for me. Okay, how did you know that was the rule?
Then 9 plus 5. Take away 1 from the 5 is going to make a 4. The 9 plus 1 is going to make a 10. 10 plus 4 is going to make a 14.
Okay, so you took 1 back away from your 10 to get your plus 9? Okay, very good. Do you know this fact? Do you know 9 plus 10 is 19? Do you already know that fact? Okay, good job. Guys.
Alright, I will try that. 2,000. Let's start at 25. We count by 10.
No, we have to.
Look at this number line. See this? This chart. Look at 25. Let's look at 75. So how many times?
5 right here. And 5.
Will you log into the computer when you get a second so it'll come back up? Thank you. When we come back together, will you share your the one you created on your own? Okay, good job.
We got to figure out what we add
All right, Mari, you got it, buddy? All right. Will you do me a favor? Will you ask this question when someone comes up to share their work? Will you do that for me? Sure. Thank you so much. All right. Yes, sir.
Rules on here. Ask them this.
You can do it another one on the back if you'd like.
Want me to ask them this?
Yes. Perfect.
Who's sharing the thing?
There's a couple of people we're going to share, but will you ask this question during our closing for me?
How do you know where to write?
How did you know you were right? Got it. Thank you, sweet girl. Okay, this is what I need you to do, boys and girls. Time out. I got some. Thank you, Finn. Thank you, Rylan. Thank you, Emma. Thank you, boys. Thank you, Miss Little. Okay, if you will quietly bring your papers back up to the floor. Document camera. Let's see. There we go. Move all this. Kind of blocking y'all in. All right, guys. And if you'll turn in your where you are to see the board. Yes.
I got mine.
Okay. Come on up. All right. Have a seat. Yes. Sure, Tate. Thank you. All right, guys. Can everybody see the board?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Let's see. Yep, that's good. Perfect. Thank you. All right, let's turn it. All right, let's look at Cameron's first paper that she worked on. All right. This one was number 3. You may or may not have had a number 3 in your packet. Okay? It's okay if you did, okay if you didn't. Okay? But Cameron, I want you to tell us a little bit about your in and out table here and tell us what your rule was and how you figured that out. So everybody, quiet voices, papers in your lap so that we can hear Cameron really well, okay? All right, go ahead, Cameron.
The rule was 8, and we figured it out because on the first one, we took away these 2, and we took away all these.
Okay, can you tell me more about that?
And we noticed that 8 plus 8 equals 16.
Okay, so her in was 308 and her out was 316. And tell us again what you just said, Cameron.
We noticed that 8 plus 8 equals 16.
Okay. Can you give us another example of how you knew that the rule was adding 8?
Because we need to start with 8. We would have to 8, so we would take away 2 from the other 8, and we would
Okay.
make that a 10, and then we'd have 6 left.
Okay.
So that would be 16.
Can you show me another example up here of how you added the 8? Maybe this one down here. 801 and 809. Can you tell us how you knew that rule was plus 8 as well?
8, the 8 and the 8 are together, are both there.
Okay, what are those 8s?
Those 8 are 100.
So 800s, okay.
We put in the 1 right there, but when we came out, it was 9.
Uh-huh.
So we were like, oh, 1 minus 9 would be 8, so that would be 8.
Okay, can somebody say again kind of how she solved that problem? Mari, can you kind of restate what she said there? With the 801 and the 809?
Basically, it's just you have the 8 still in front, and
Is that an 8?
that is
But what's the value of that 8? What place is it in? So it's how much then? 800. Very good. Okay. So they're both in the 800s. So how do you know to add 8 for the rule?
Because that whenever
It is. So when you put in 801 and you add 8, you get 809. But how do we know that?
it's plus 8, but I was saying I thought it was plus 1 because 9 is just changing
Well, what is 1 plus your 8?
9.
9. So that's how you get the 809. All right. Anybody have a question for Cameron? Okay, you have a question?
How did you find out it was 8?
Okay, so he wants to know again, how did you know the rule was to add 8?
Because on the first one we saw an 8 in the ones place, and then the second time we saw a 1 and a 6, and 1 and 6 makes 16. So we put 8 plus 8, and that makes 16,
Okay.
and then we added back our 3.
3 or 300.
100.
Very good. Okay. Anybody else have a question for Cameron? All right, Mari?
How did you check your work?
We took away both of these, and we took away 3. So we put 8 plus 8, and then we looked again, and we already knew that 8 plus 8 was 16.
Do you know that doubles fact, right? All right, very good. Give Cameron a hand. Good job. Thank you, Cameron. You can take your work. All right, you ready, buddy? Come on up. All right. Cade is going to share with us the one that he created. So let's take a look at Cade's work. I want everybody just to look at this for just a minute. All right, so his in was 5 and his out was 15. In was 13, out was 39. In 9, out 27. In 2, out 6. In 7, out 21. Okay. All right, so Cade, can you talk to us a little bit about how you set up your input-output table? What rule did you use?
Times 3.
Times 3. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
5 times 3 is 5, 10, 15.
Okay, he just said 5, 10, 15. What strategy is he using to multiply?
Counting.
He skipped counting by
5.
5s, and he went up how many in the pattern? 3. Okay, go ahead, Cade.
And the other one's from 13 to 29.
Okay, and how did you figure that out, 13 to 39?
Because 3 times 3 is 9, and 1 times 3 is 3.
Okay, what kind of strategy is that? Do you know? He said 3 times 3 is 9. Look right here, guys. Excuse me, babe. He said 3 times 3 is 9, and then you said what?
That 1 times 3 is 4.
Okay, he said 1 times 3 is 3. Why does that work? Do you know? Julianne, what do you think?
It's like it's telling the 1 is telling the 3 to show itself 1 time, and it only shows itself 1. So
Okay.
it's 1, 3.
Okay, so he's really using place value, right? Using place value to come up with his output, right? Okay. Anything else you'd like to say, Kate, about that? All right. Anybody have a question for Kate? Does anybody have a question for Kate? Yes, ma'am?
How do you know it was that? How do you know it was right?
How did you know it was right, Kate? Can you say it a little bit louder and tell
I
them?
also counted it up first.
He counted, okay. How much did you count up?
10,
You counted up to 39? Okay. What about up? And you got 13. Okay. How many? Okay. So you counted up from 9 to 27 and you got 13? Tell me about the 2, putting in 2 and getting out 6. How would you check that? How do you know that's right?
Because I counted 2, 4, and 6, and 3, 6 and 6, and 3 2s is 6.
3 2s is 6. Okay. Anybody else have a question for Cade? Yes, Maddie Beth?
How'd you know 3 times 3 times 13 equals 39?
Because I added up 3 times and then the 1 3 times.
Okay.
1 times 3 is 1, 2, 3. And 3 is 3, 6, 9.
Okay, so you use place value to help solve that problem. Okay. Yes, Micah, you can go. All right. Yes, ma'am, Cameron.
Sophie asked the question which Shelby was supposed to.
Okay, that's okay. That's okay. All right. All right, guys. What you're going to do right now is I want you to quietly go back to your seat. And I'm going to come around and I'm going to collect your papers from you if you'll just pull them up. I'm going to come get those from you so that I can look at them later and then I'll give them back to Miss McBrayer so that you can take them home. You can keep them home. Ready? Thank you. You go, Maddie Beth, you ready? And I just want to say thank you, girls. Thank you so much for your participation today. I really, really, really appreciate it. You guys worked really hard. And you tried your best, and you stayed engaged. I appreciate it very, very much.
I think so too. He said, this is how me and Finn need to do it from now on, even when she's not teaching, because we've had a little bit of a communication. Like, they've been working on their partnership, you know? Because I've made all the moves I